Hey everybody, James Arnold Taylor here in the studio. Get a lot of people asking me when I do the Ask JAT segments where I'm talking to me, how do I do it? Well, it's actually very easy. It's just some old trick photography, and but it's easy and it's not, because there's different elements. The way I have to start is I have to record one track. So I have the tracks here, and I thought I'd show you all that. But so what I first do is I record me just like this talking, and if you see me looking down right now, I have a monitor that I'm looking at. See, and I watch that and I get my framing right. So if I have to be over here, then I know I can't go past this line, because then the other JAT is going to bleed into it when I cut into it, because I will eventually split the screen with two different versions. That's also why the camera has to be locked down on a tripod like it is right now, and all the lighting has to be set. Now normally, you see right now I have my window open over here where I'm getting natural light. If I'm doing an Ask JAT, I would close that and go just by the studio lighting. Why is that important? Well, because the light outside changes. You see, as the sun moves and such, it changes, and the lighting has to stay exactly the same for every episode of Ask JAT, because when I then split the screen, if it's 10-15 minutes later, when I do that, because I have to go change clothes, I have to do all of those things, it has to look exactly the same so there's no weird things in the lighting. And so, a little tricky, and it was tricky when I would do these before I had all my lighting set up and everything else, and these better cameras. So the way I do it is, let's take a look at the screen here, and let's make sure you can see that. I'm gonna change the focus on that so you can see that screen. Okay, so the first Ask JAT would start. You got, this is all produced. It's time for another Ask JAT, where I answer your questions submitted at my website, JamesArnoldTaylor.com. James is going to come in. Oh, there's James. See, he came in. Of course. But the truth is, this is what we start with. There's no James. See that? So it's just this James. JAT, where I answer your questions submitted at my website, JamesArnoldTaylor.com, under the JAT Show menu. And of course, it wouldn't be Ask JAT without JAT himself, James Arnold Taylor, me, here to answer your questions. See, now I'm talking or him, to nobody. Or us, or, yeah. Okay, but so that other guy is right here. Now I have to unmute my mic and make him appear. Oh, there he is. Now if I take out this one, that's actually what it looks like. It's a split screen, you see. So I split the screen, and there they are, both together. Your questions for me, or him, or us. Or us. Or, yeah, me. Or you. I don't know. I don't know. Yes. Either. Anyways, okay. So the big question, though, is how do they talk to each other and you get it so in sync? Because these are all done in one take. Now, in this particular one, I actually had several cameras set up so I could get different angles. So, but there's no cutaways. It's all still one take. The way I do it is I record the whole thing, and then I also record my voice, the audio, on my iPad. And I set that aside, and I just record it, just recording, hey everybody, it's me, Ask JAT, and da-da-da-da-da, right? All the dialogue that goes along with the first take of it. Then when I'm doing the second take, I have to play that back, and I have a teleprompter that is playing the script because it's all written out. It has to be written out, because in order to make sure that I don't step on it, or, you know, I can do it all in one take, everything is written out in an Ask JAT like that. And I read it off the teleprompter that is connected to the camera here. So I'm looking right at the camera and I'm reading. And so that iPad that recorded the first track is playing back that in sync with the teleprompter that is going. It's very confusing. And the second JAT that's in the second change of clothes gets into his one position on screen and listens back to that audio while he's reading along to the teleprompter, and then I interject where I can. And I know that I can interject here and there because of the script. Here you can see all the various tracks that it takes to do this. This one here is the second track of James, so if I take that away, he goes away, and then if I add him, he goes back. This is the first track that I do, that is the video, and this is the audio for it. This is the second track of audio for the other James, and then these are cutaways where I do cutaways of that. These are the graphics here. So if those of you that don't know Adobe Premiere or Premiere Pro, this is how it works. It's set up. This is the timeline, and here's where everything goes into place. So all very confusing, very complex, but also very simple indeed. If you have the right lighting, you have the camera on a tripod, you have audio to be played back at the right time in the right way, and you're running everything off a teleprompter so you know exactly what you're going to say and do and when you're going to say it so you can interact with the other James. So there you go. That is how I do Ask JAT. I hope that's clear, and I hope you join me for another Ask JAT will be coming up pretty soon. Hey, here's the thing. I get so many questions for Ask JAT, and you can do those at jamesarnoldtaylor.com. You can submit the questions there. Make sure you drop into the choose topic thing and make sure it says Ask JAT. If you don't, it doesn't get to me, okay? So you got to make sure you choose a topic in there. But the other thing is so many of these questions are questions I've already answered in some of my other vlogs. If you're new to this channel, welcome. I thank you for being here. But here's one thing you can do. Go back and look at all the hundreds of videos I have on the James Arnold Taylor channel. There's tons of vlogs in there. There's tons of day in the life. There's tons of different shows and different things. And so many of them answer your questions. People want to know about my studio. There's a studio tour in there. People want to know how I warm up my voice. There's a couple videos about vocal warm-ups and things that I do. People want to know about voice acting when you go in and how does it work on an ISDN or a foam patch or an audition or whatever. There's all sorts of old vlogs that you go back and watch. You'll find tons of watching enjoyment here at the JAT channel while all the new stuff is coming. So please subscribe. Check out the old stuff, find your answers to so many of your questions there, and if you have an answer or a question that you haven't had answered, send it to jamesarnoldtaylor.com on the JAT Show button. Click on that and submit your topic, and we'll see you for another Ask JAT at some point, but this was kind of a behind the scenes of Ask JAT. See you next time.